Once every generation, there comes an event that alters how we perceive our world. That changes our expectations of what is possible. This is not really one of those events. But hey, Toxic Radio has a brand new studio, and that fucking rocks. So join us in celebrating our excellent new home. Toxic Radio. Awesomer than ever before. Wow, that is so a word. Hey, buddy. Rah. Hey, man, that's a sweet heavy metal happy hour t-shirt. Where'd you pick that up?
Thanks, dude. I got it at the Toxic Radio shop.
Toxic Radio has a shop?
Yeah, dude. It's in the app or online at toxicradio.net.
That is sweet.
Yeah, and I also got a rockin' Toxic Radio hoodie and a Red Band Underground shirt. Dude, I'm gonna look so rockin' at the party tomorrow.
Well, I think you look pretty now.
Oh, wait, what?
The Toxic Radio shop is the place to get all your Toxic Radio gear. Shirts, hoodies, stickers. Find it at toxicradio.net or on the app. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic. Hey, where you going, man? Spring is here. After months of being inside, no, your promo is done. We are finally free to go outside once again.
It's about damn time.
Make sure to make Toxic Radio part of your fun with the free app. Whether it's mowing the lawn, a round of golf,
Oh, what the hell? Sorry.
bird watching, or even streaking. Whatever you're doing, make us your soundtrack. Spring is back. Make it toxic.
All right. What's up, fuckers? Happy what would have been M3 weekend cheerfulness and wonderfulness. I am Will Mass. My co-host and cohort and partner in crime, Mr. Mike Battaraco, is with us, back from the Rock Room in South Carolina. How you doing, Mike?
What's happening? Doing great. Yeah, you guys ran me out of Jersey. Yeah, whatever. I guess.
Ran you out of Jersey and Maryland.
And Maryland told me never to come back. Yeah, this is M3 weekend. Supposed to be. All the memories coming up.
Yeah. It's been kind of cool, like the last 2 days, the Facebook memories popping up of just the different M3s. And, unfortunately for me, I'm only showing the last 3 years because of getting him, putting in Facebook jail 3 years ago and had to start a new profile. And so it's like I'm looking at other people's memories going, oh, I don't have those.
Nah, they go way back, way back, way back.
Yeah, man.
It's awesome.
It's been pretty cool. We've had a lot of discussions with everybody, online this week about M3. All the family. Again, everybody's been posting a lot of things, and so we got our announcement this last week too, that M3's happening.
Yes. It's like 50-50 split, whether people are okay with July or people are not okay with July. It's like, You're going to get it. Be happy. Just go. You're going to sweat your ass off. You're going to be fine. You just, loud music and friends, get out there in the sun and just enjoy it.
Boy, you've
been announced way too long.
You put that in a lot nicer context than I was going to put it.
I know. I know exactly how you feel.
I think the fucking world knows how I feel. But guess what? They're going to hear a little bit more today. So let's talk about the fact that they announced over the weekend or last week that M3 is going to be happening. It's going to be July 4th weekend. Essentially, if you go to M3 every year, the lineup's fairly predictable. What's pretty much going to be there. And every year there's that level of, everybody, oh, the same old bands. Oh, it's this, it's that. Oh, it's the, are you fucking kidding me? Dude, You bitch, you don't have anything for a year and a half. You got no festivals, okay? You got very little live music. M3 decides they're going to put it out there, and all I see is people bitching and moaning and bitching and moaning. Half the reason this industry is taking a shit when it comes to live music is motherfuckers don't want to support. Okay. Again, Mike, you were nice about this. I wasn't planning on being nice about this today. It's been in my craw for a couple of days now. And listen, I don't want to fucking, be yelling and screaming and bitching at people and be that guy. But sometimes I am that guy. And today I'm that guy. It's like, I'm tired of people bitching. These same fair-weathered music fans. These aren't our family members. You know what I mean? This isn't music fans that go out to see a live show. It doesn't matter who the fuck it is or where it is. If there's a live show and you're in the area, hey man, cool, I'm gonna go check this band out. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these fair-weather fans that want to bitch and moan about current industry and how this is, and they don't want to do anything to change it. And not only do they not want to do anything to change it, they're a big part of the fucking problem of it. You know what I mean? It's like, you say you support. I've heard it a million fucking times. Oh, I support live music. I do. I never see you? Where are those people? You know what I mean? These same people that want to complain that, oh, we haven't had any live music, and then we get a festival that announces itself. Another one. There's been a couple, but this one is near and dear to us. And it's like, I'm so tired of hearing people bitch, man. This scene, this industry only goes if there are musicians willing to play and there are people willing to get people to pay to go see them play. Okay, it doesn't work one without the other. It doesn't happen. It has to happen that way. You have to have good music, good fans with good people on both sides, whether it be musicians or whether it be fans. And the lack of support is what's killing this industry. There's a lot of factors. You'll hear a lot of people talk about a lot of the different factors, but to me, from what I've seen on a local, regional level, fan support sucks, man. It sucks. And again, I'm not calling out every fan that goes to shows, okay? I'm not. I'm just making it a point here. We all play a part in this. Everybody, fans, artists, everybody, promoters, internet radio. Everybody plays a part in this. And if people aren't going to pay attention and go out to shows and support live music, it will go away. Venues have been closing pre-COVID like crazy. A lot of the venues in Philly, you could get anybody to call in right now in the Philly area and ask them how many venues are showcasing live music anymore. It's a sad state of affairs. And if people don't start taking this seriously, we're going to fucking lose it.
My favorite venue in North Carolina, the Maywood, it closed. Yeah. I mean, that was a great place to see music. And I met a lot of friends there. It was right up the street from me, really, only like 100 miles. But,
That's a music fan. It's right up the street 100 miles.
You go. I mean, no matter, the last time I was there was Kickin' Valentina. Can't remember who else. But I'd seen Kickin' Valentina probably 5-6 times before that. It's like, do I really want to go see him again? Yes, I do want to go see him again. They're friends, they're family, they kick ass. I mean, I think Babylon Shakes was on the bill, and somebody else. But it was a great show. Haven is really good live, man. I mean, I was impressed.
Is that the guys that do the Kiss tribute?
Yes.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Yes, dude, they are. They are so good. First time I seen them was Station. They were at, oh my God, another place in Raleigh that closed. It was Station, Haven, and somebody else. I mean, but I think it was Babylon Shakes again. Or Last Call Messiahs. It was Last Call Messiahs before it became Babylon Shakes. That's right.
Gotcha.
Station's Last Call. Yeah, that was the first time I seen Haven, and they were just awesome.
And both of those venues are now gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the from what I understand, the Maywood will rent it out. I was talking to a friend,
Really?
Michelle, and they'll rent it out, but I don't know. He just closed, and for no reason he didn't ride it out or whatever. I heard a bunch of stuff.
That's an
but
interesting thought, though. Him renting it out,
Right.
like in other words, for an outside promoter to come in and just put on a show.
Right, I think so. Exactly. We can get a hold of him, see what he wants to do, see what it is. I mean, rent it out.
Yeah.
And there's Chris. He said, "Rally, rest in
Yep.
peace, Maywood."
Yep.
It's true. A great venue.
Southern Ballroom and Deep South Bar too. See, this
That's
is what I
correct.
mean. And these I have a listen, I know that not every venue out there is what every fan likes, okay? I understand there's certain venues that people don't like to go see live music in. Maybe it's because the sound sucks. Maybe it's because the room sucks. Just, because some rooms just aren't meant to have live music in them. But a lot of it has to do with there's venues there that people aren't supporting, man. And when somebody says to me, "Oh, I hate that venue," okay, do you like the two bands that are playing there? Oh yeah, I love them, but I hate the venue.
Right.
Are you fucking go to the fucking show, you fucking moron? You know what I mean? It's like
Don't beat
fucking
around the bush.
support.
Tell it like it is.
I'm sorry. I knew this was going to be like this today, and it's like it's the whole M3 thing that got me fired up. It's just
Right.
It's like,
But we can be happy that M3 is going to happen and let the people bitch.
are you trying to
if
bring
they
me
wanna
back?
bitch,
You trying to bring me
I'm
back?
trying to bring you back.
You're trying to bring me
you're
back.
Gonna come back. You're gonna come back down, and you're gonna be like, hey, okay. Just if they don't go, they don't go. But there's gonna be 10,000 other family members and friends of ours that are gonna be there.
That's very.
You know
true.
what?
That's very true.
Weed out the crap, and we get better seats. They're not taking the seats. We're gonna get better seats. Stay home, look at the pictures, be bummed out, and then you'll be there next year, and you'll
Right.
be there the year after.
Right.
There was one year I missed. I did 2015. That was an amazing weekend. Did
Yeah, buddy.
2016. That was an amazing weekend. Missed 2017.
Yeah, you did.
I remember sitting on the couch and watching live feeds. I didn't think I was going to have the money. Ended up the week before I had the money in my account. I'm like, damn, why don't I just get in the car? I should have. But we sat there and we missed it. And we were me and Carrie are just sitting there on the couch all weekend. Her on that side, me on this side, just watching these videos and, kind of tearing up. Kind of,
You're missing your
it,
family reunion, man. Shit.
Right. And it was like, and that was the time that, we were sitting there. I was like, we got to do something. And that's when we discovered Mork too.
Right.
So now, between the two, we get to see a bunch of family members. We get to see, everybody we love.
Family
No,
members
he's
from
like-
overseas, man. The Mork is really good for that. I mean, there's definitely
Oh my
people that
God.
travel from overseas as well to M3, but Mork that's a little. People ask me before, it's like, well, describe Mork to me. I said, okay, it's M3 on steroids because it's insane. You're on a boat and there's 50
Wow.
bands. Yeah, I mean, it's just you literally don't worry about your cabin because you're only going to be there to sleep and shower, and that's it. Because the rest of the time you're watching
Yeah.
music and hanging with fucking people, and it's interesting. Like this year's M3, there was Melanie. I don't know if you know her or not, but Melanie from Canada. She was saying that they're still not allowed to come down from Canada.
Yep. Nope.
And she's
Christine
bummed,
Connell
man.
and, yeah.
She's
They're all
bummed.
bummed out.
She's like, this is bullshit. she's like, she's like, this is, I told her, I said, we're gonna have to make a smuggling run up to Canada and, meet you at the border, throw you in the trunk, bring your asses down.
Any way possible.
Right. But let's talk about M3 2015 since you brought that up.
Oh yeah.
And
I love talking about that.
so
It's one of my favorite subjects. And now we're gonna get Will in a good mood.
Right.
Because
I ranted for a
about
minute.
that.
I ranted for a minute. I had to get my fuckers in and out, and
We're good now.
Yeah, I think we're good now. Thanks for bringing me
I
back
think
down.
you got a few more in you, I'm sure.
So you guys have gotten this a couple times on the last 2 radio shows. We've kind of actually hinted to it every show we've done so far, every 2 shows that we've done so far. But M3 2015 was a really, really, really special year for a lot of us, and a lot of it has to do with chemistry. The music at M3 is the catalyst for the gathering, but there was a core group of us, probably 30 of us, that all actually met the 2015 M3, and ironically, that same unit of people, that same core of people, we're all very much still together as family. And, we talk to each other every day, if not every week, if not every couple of days or whatever it is. I keep in touch with all these people. I still have. There was an inspiration. Yeah, there it is right there. There's the 2015 flyer. Look at that. So that's
great year.
Yeah. Killer Dwarfs were on that year.
Dude,
Rhino
what an
Bucket,
amazing
Taiketo.
show. 11 o'clock in the morning, Killer Dwarfs are just killing it.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was fun stuff. That was really fun stuff. But there was a chemistry that core group of people that we talk about all the time, that for whatever reason we all clicked that specific year. Most of us had been to every year. There was tons of people that had been there, but we had never hooked up before. You know what I mean? Like, we just didn't know each other. We didn't. You know how it is.
Right.
I'm gonna credit the Facebook group M3 Rockers, because that is where we all met first. And it went from there to the pre-party. And I'm going to give you a dynamic now. I mean, I'm not going to go through the list of people. There's a lot of people. This is, wow. I'm trying to do the dynamic here. So the pre-party for M3, I didn't know there was pre-parties prior to 2015. M3 Rockers, because of that, found out there was a pre-party. Found out late. Tickets are already sold out. Dave Dillman does a great job at that every year. He's been doing it every year of M3. Yeah, he sells that sumbitch out. You know what I mean? Detoxin Productions, for those that don't know. Dave Dillman, look him up. He does the pre-party. He's done a pre-party every year of M3. This year's no exception. That will also be going on. So I couldn't get a ticket to the pre-party. Margie, who is coincidentally Chris Clark's wife, Margie Clark.
Really?
By the way, nice shirt, buddy. Nice shirt, buddy. Hey.
Hey.
It's Babylon Shakes Day.
We didn't even call and talk to each other today.
No, we totally didn't. That's pretty good.
Our wardrobes.
I'm glad we didn't wear. You know what, though? I should have probably switched, because I'm kind of just blending in with the background. Look what happens.
That's good.
So
all we can hear is your mouth.
That's fine by me.
Just saying.
What are you saying, man? So I met Margie prior to a month before at the Jack Russell's Great White Show. So I reached out to her. I was like, dude, I'm not going to be able to see you guys at the pre-party. I'll just see you first day of M3 or whatever. She's like, no. She says, I have an extra ticket. Somebody wasn't coming. So, boom, now I'm in the pre-party, okay? And I'm meeting everybody. Right. You know what I mean? All the people that we hold near and dear to us.
I remember.
You know what I mean?
I remember you were running around. Hey, man, you got to come out here. Hey, man, I just met this. I will never forget you telling me hey, you got to meet this girl. She's the coolest. She's so cool in person. And you're about to tell us about that, right?
Yeah, that was coming.
Yeah.
So
tell us about this girl.
the magic of M3, as we like to refer to it sometimes. Right. The magic of M3 2015. That night at the pre-party, I met my future wife, my future love in life, and my guardian angel all in one.
Wow.
And I was introduced to her through Margie, who also met Chris.
The love of her life.
That's it, the love of her life. That's on our show later. Yeah. Chris Clark from Babylon Shakes. Yeah. They met the same night at the pre-party. Yep. Chris's band was playing. Last Call Messiahs was playing.
Last Call Messiahs.
there was an energy that year. We talk about it all the time. I mean, there's the two, the great love affairs that happened with me and Wendy and with Chris and Margie, but there were so many tight friendships made that particular year with everybody that we met in that room, pretty much. I mean, the core group was all in that room that night.
We're all there.
Yeah, and it's
remember
been
meeting Brad.
Yeah.
I met Brad Lee for the first time then.
Me too.
And,
Me
he
too.
was sitting over by the bar, and I'm like, hey, because I didn't know anybody. I had
Right.
never been to this. And if it wasn't for that Facebook group, M3 Rockers, I probably wouldn't have even talked to anybody, known anybody. But that at least started conversations.
A lot of conversations.
A lot. And it was like, everybody just, and you felt so comfortable when you finally met him in person.
Yeah. It's like you already knew him.
It was, right. Long lost friend that you were just seeing. And it was so cool.
Yeah, there was an energy. I talk about energy and vibe all the time in music, but I talk about it with the people too that are there, and there was an energy and a vibe that was created in that bar that night that I still can't totally explain. I've been to many others since, and they're great, and I have a great time. It's not any different, but there was just something about the energy in the air in 2015, something about it, man, and it's call it divine intervention, because honestly, there's no other reason we all meet that night and create this tight little unit. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't happen on a fluke. Not like that.
And
so
you go back to what you were saying in the first place when we began this. If you didn't go to the show, you didn't experience it.
Right.
So go to the damn show.
Right.
If I decided to blow that off, okay, I don't have the money, or or the band's all stuck. I've seen them before. Give me something new. Okay, that didn't happen for me. That night, that weekend didn't happen. I didn't experience that. You never know what's going to happen at the show. Just because it might be the same band that you've seen 15 times doesn't mean it's going to be the same show. Right. Doesn't mean it's going to be an exact replica of what you experienced before.
Right.
You went to M3 so many times and never experienced what happened 2015.
No. And it was amazing. That's
why you go to the show. You go to the show. Right. Go to the show.
Don't bitch. Just go. Just go. And it's funny how, and you've seen them at M3 when the newbies show up and it's their first M3 and first day you'll see them in the parking lot and they're coming over and they're kind of just hanging a little bit, you know what I mean? They're kind of hanging in the shadows and they're drinking their beers and they're watching everybody and they're not that they're being rude, they're talking to people here or there, but then they'll come back on Saturday. Like you see them on Friday and then they come back Saturday and they come over to you and they're all smiles and they're like, man, that was great. And it's like, okay, you ready for the marathon? Because today's the marathon. So strap on your boots because now it's going to get real. And then those same people, the end of the night, Saturday night, they're changed. They're forever changed. You know what I mean? And it's because of the music and because of the people. Okay, M3 has got the best people that show up for that show. The Howard County cops that work in that area will tell you they look forward to working that show. All the vendors and all the people that work inside Merriweather will tell you they look forward to that festival because it's some of the coolest people that come. It's not a bunch of egos and attitudes. It's just a bunch of, people cutting loose, having a good time, loving on their family, you know what I mean? And taking 2 and 3 days to just kind of disappear from the world. That's what these festivals are about. They're an opportunity for us to get the fuck outside of our lives. You know what I mean? To literally for 2 or 3 days completely forget about all the shit that happens in life and take those 3 days and just love the music, love each other, love the weather. Even if it's raining, fuck it. Who cares? Enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Or do more, and that's 5 days.
Right. That's insane.
You talk about a marathon.
I know.
That is a marathon. That ain't no fucking race. That's a damn.
No.
You can see the newbies on that one.
Yeah,
You see them
they're
after
a little
the first
overwhelmed.
day, man.
They're a little overwhelmed.
Dude, they'd be passed out on stairways. They'd
Yep.
be passed out in the concourse. They're
Yep.
just passed out, laying all over the place. And you're like, newbie,
Yeah, exactly.
newbie.
Yeah.
And if I was still drinking on my first one,
You would have been that
one of
guy.
them.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been that guy. You're damn right.
It's
But-
funny. You walk up on deck at like 3 a.m. and all those like gazebo beds that are out there, they're all full
Right.
of people that are just, they're done. They're passed out. Bed. Done.
There's something to lay on. Yeah.
Come out for
it's-
breakfast the next morning. Some of them are still there.
Right. Oh, I've seen that. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, people are just like, wow, he's still here from last night. I remember that guy. And he's just, sun is baking him, and he's there in his just leather jacket, jeans, and he's just freaking baking. It's like, this guy has not woke up yet.
No. And he's
Oh
going to be
my
hurting
God.
when he does. He's going to be hurting when he does.
Yeah. And he just start drinking again.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's a
Okay.
it's that Mork is definitely a marathon, but Mork is that same family too. You know what I mean? It's the same family. It's not everybody can afford to go on Mork. I understand that completely. I've only gone on 2.
Exactly.
Wendy and I've only done 2 of them. They're not cheap. I mean, if you're going by yourself and you're a guy or a girl and you can room up, look, M3 stuff. Yay.
M3 stuff.
There you go.
Yes. Amberjacks.
Anybody that's watching, this is a little bit of clippage of M3. And again, look, youngin. God, I love to see that. There's I was waiting for you to chime in on that. There's tons of really good people, man. They're just walking around, they're hanging out, they're drinking beers and having a good time, and the music is just anywhere you are in there. So I mean, the music's the soundtrack. You know what I mean? It's the soundtrack for the hang, and it's fucking awesome. We love that place.
We all come from different backgrounds. We all have different jobs. There might be doctors, lawyers. I'm a machinist. You're a plumber. I mean, there's different backgrounds, different, people, different ways of life. But when you come together at that one venue, or you come together at one show, there's one common thing. We all enjoy that type of music.
Yep.
We all are bonded by that.
Yep.
We don't need anything to talk about. There's nothing else in life. I don't care if you're a lawyer or a doctor. We're hanging, we're joking, we're having a blast. It's because you have that black t-shirt on that says Wasp. I have that black t-shirt on that says Iron Maiden. And there's our conversation beginning.
Right.
I want to hang with that guy right there.
Both of them guys.
He's
Actually,
having a blast.
It's funny because I'm watching this video and I've picked out like 10 people that I know. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Again, it's the family. It's like I could probably sit here and really stare at it and pick out a ton more people. You know what I mean?
About
It's
to put on
crazy.
my glasses. It is.
No.
I mean, there's everybody, is
It's
there.
it's the family. There's the family. You know what I mean? That crane won't be there though.
No.
That'll be gone. I remember that really well because I really wanted to climb on that son of a bitch. And Wendy talked me out of it. I was just like, it's a giant Tonka toy. I work construction. It'll be fucking fine. I
can do this.
Don't get up there. Ugh, all right.
Right. So is the venue you've been there since they remodeled, right?
Not since last year or prior to last year. So God, dude, it's been over a year and a half since I've been in that venue. And I know construction never stopped. So I would think whatever they had left to do in there a year and a half, 2 years ago, that's probably done.
Okay.
See,
I haven't been there since all this, and from what I heard, it's fantastic now.
I haven't been up
area.
above. I haven't been up above on that concourse thing that they built, but it's like grass. It's up on you know what I'm talking about? Like this part they're walking through right there. It's like literally above them. There's grass, almost like an extension of the lawn, but it's up above where those people are standing right now. You can see it on the other side. They hadn't even finished it yet. Look, that whole upper thing's not even finished. That's crazy.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
They've done a lot of stuff to it, man. It was always a great venue. You know what I mean? But they definitely made some really cool enhancements to it. It just makes it even better. Just makes it better.
The overall experience is just fantastic.
Yeah.
It doesn't
yeah.
matter if it was a tent in the middle of the woods.
Right.
Fantastic. And that's why I like that second stage, man.
That was
And
fun,
that
wasn't it?
2015, you were there for the Tom Kiefer show.
Oh, dude,
And-
let's talk about the fact that Kiefer didn't even give a shit that Europe started playing on the main stage.
No.
They kept playing, and nobody left. Nobody left.
No, I was staying there. That was, it was like we were in the middle of the woods because there's woods all around you, man.
Yeah. The second
They
word,
have
man.
this
Hold up. Yeah, let's preface what you're talking about because we're not talking about the main stage now. Tell people what you're talking about.
Oh,
The way M3
there's
used to
the side.
rotate it.
right. Now they rotate the stage, so it's all one stage.
Right.
But before, they had the backstage. And there would be the main stage over here, and you had the backstage that was kind of in the woods, surrounded by trees.
It was cool.
And yeah, I saw the Killer Dwarfs there,
Yep.
and that was great. Leaned up against the tree, sun was blocked. I mean,
Yep.
that was 11 o'clock in the morning. Then I was back there for Taiketo. I was back
Yep.
there for Y&T, and Taiketo killed it. But then,
Always do. They always do.
Oh, yeah. Night fell, and Tom Kiefer's coming on. I'm like, oh, yeah, this guy's freaking great.
And he's closing the
Little
main.
did I-
He's closing the side stage. He's the headliner on the side stage that night, of all places.
We could not believe that he was the headliner of the side stage,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Right.
But you go back there, and I remember standing there with others. I think you were there, and everybody was there, and you got this feeling that I'm getting chills, man. I'm gonna oof.
Yeah.
It was like he pulled you in. The only thing missing was a campfire because it was like he
Shit.
pulled you into his life, and he
Yeah.
took you in because his wife was sitting there.
Yep.
And she's with him, and you got pulled in, and he was telling stories and just
Being Tom.
conversing with the crowd.
Being Tommy Kiefer,
and
man.
it was one of them moments that you will never replace. And I have a picture of it, of him and his wife just sitting there. If next segment I'll pull it down. And I saw some guy took a picture of it, and I told him, I said, how much for that? He's like, no way. I don't sell my pictures. No way. And I told him, I said, okay, that's cool. I said, just, this is what I experienced, and, just a whole family atmosphere, just sitting around bullshitting, loving life, pulled into where Tom Kiefer. It didn't feel like a concert.
Nah.
It just,
Nah.
it felt like, I don't know, man. It's hard to explain. But after I explained it to him and wrote it down, and he's like, dude, what's your address? You're getting this picture.
Nice.
I'm like,
See?
yeah.
See?
He's like, man,
Hey, the
you
kid-
described it so well. And I'm like, yeah, they're just freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And if I didn't go to the show because I had seen Cinderella and Tom Kiefer so many other times,
Right.
if I didn't go to that show,
That was
I would not have
2015.
experienced that.
Again, 2015. Just everything comes back to that and that
Every
M3
show's
for
different.
so many reasons. I mean, I can remember that. I think I was standing there talking to you,
Mhm.
and I heard the opening chords of Gypsy Road, and I was like, "Bye," and I took
Bye.
off running towards the stage because I was just like, "That's." I mean, when it comes to Tommy or to Cinderella, that's my jam. That song just every time gets me big time. There's Kiefer.
There's Kiefer.
There he is. Yeah,
He's
man.
going to be on the boat this year.
But like I said, the amazing fact was that they played it out. You heard Europe start on the main stage.
You
Nobody left. Nobody left. Like, and I heard rumors after the fact, that the guys
crazy.
from Europe were fucking just pissed off. And I mean, I don't know that they're rumors at this point. I don't know what the hell's truth and what's not, but they were evidently pissed off because it wasn't like, okay, they started playing and Kiefer was ending his set. No, Tom played like
No.
two more songs in
Exactly.
the Europe set. And I'm like, this is the most badass rock and roll thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm just like,
Right.
if that's not the biggest ultimate finger to, I'm surprised it didn't get him kicked off for Bandana M3, honestly, because that's the ultimate. He's just like, fuck you. I'm gonna play,
He's
man.
going
And
to play. you know, and it was no disrespect. He
No,
like he
no.
wanted to disrespect Europe.
No.
He's like, man, you know, I'm bigger here.
Yeah.
I'm the bigger draw, but yeah, you get Europe from Europe or whatever. And, you know, they wanted to be the headliner. Well, guess what? You're really not the headliner here.
Right. And the
Tom
audience
Kiefer is.
the audience proved it. The audience proved it.
They're
You know
like,
what I mean?
we're going to stay here.
Yeah.
We're going to, you know.
When Tommy's done, we'll go hang out and see Europe. And the funny thing was, as soon as Kiefer was done, I was
We all
like
boogied.
drained. I was drained. I was so drained, dude. I was just like, all right, I'm out. I got to.
I remember seeing
see
you
ya.
that night, and you know, after that show, and you looked like you were going to just fall over.
I was
and I'm like, hey,
drained.
we're going to go check out Europe, and you're like, no, and you're
Yeah,
just like,
that was accurate.
no.
That was accurate. That's very accurate. I was so drained at the end of Kiefer's set. Again, Saturday's the long day, and I was so drained at the end of it. I was just like, I gotta go. I can't. I gotta get out of here.
Right.
I'm gonna fall asleep. I wasn't drunk or anything like that. It was just
No,
drained of energy. You know what I mean? And again,
you
it
look like you lost your dog.
right. Or
I
somebody.
remember that. I'm like, you lost your dog. I'm like, what's wrong with him? You know?
It was the come down off in a very emotionally and energy driven weekend. It was just, you know, and to have Tom for me be the end of that, it was just like, oh,
Right.
okay. And it's like, you know, I'd been going for years before that, but that was the year that it all, like you said, it all made sense after that. It was just like, oh, I'm home. I like this. This is awesome. I'm going to do more of this. You know what I mean? I'm going to find more of this to do. And I guess I just don't understand how people that call themselves music fans will say, you know, that they support or that they do this or that, and then they don't go. And it just,
Right.
it upsets me because I know what that energy's like at a show like that. You know what I mean? I've experienced it many times now, and it's a drug. It's heroin. You know what I mean? I guess I just don't understand how other people don't feel that. You know what I mean?
I don't understand it.
I
I can't get it.
I don't understand it.
No.
And I guess
You
you
can't.
know,
You don't go to country concerts and feel that way. I mean, you have a connection or whatever, but it's not. I've been to country, and you know, I've been to other shows, and it doesn't have that same that same connection, that same. It feeds your soul. I mean,
think-
this just.
yeah, it is it's an amazing flow of energy that happens every year when we get to see our family at M3, and again, it just saddens me that people want to bitch and moan. I just, you know, stop fucking bitching, buy the fucking tickets, and we'll see you on the fucking lawn.
And if you don't want to go and you're mad about it, why do you got to post it everywhere on how you feel about everything? You got them people on Mork page. You got them people on the M3 pages. It's like, really? Okay. Now they got the excuse of the virus or whatever about, oh my God, you guys, they're going to, I can't believe one person called it a floating petri dish. Well, don't go.
The thing is,
Why
it was
do you
that.
got to be a prick?
It was already that though, even pre-COVID. Everybody knows that. You go on a
Right,
cruise.
right. You go
Why
on
do
a
you think
cruise,
you hear
you
the
get
cruise crud?
spanked.
You get cruise crud.
Why do you give me a break?
It's always been there. It's no fucking. All right, now we're gonna go off a little bit on a tangent. We're not doing that. We're not.
Never.
We're not gonna
Nope,
switch gears to
never.
that side of things.
No.
We're gonna
No.
we're gonna stick to the.
We got
little bit
Chris
of-
coming up, man. He's going to get us in a great mood.
You know he's gonna get us
Not
in a
like-
great mood.
We're already in a great mood, but
He's like our resident hippie brother. He's
Yeah,
gonna
man.
bring it. He's gonna
He's
bring it all
cool.
center for us. He's gonna make it okay.
yeah.
He's gonna make it
Yeah.
okay. So we're gonna open up phone lines, I think. So let's shoot this number
Yeah.
out. I know if you're watching on video, it's up there. But if you're listening, 856-485-9565. You want to call in and talk about M3? You want to call in and talk about how you think we're doing? You know, if you want to
Yellow
call in and tell
Bill.
me I'm an opinionated asshole, that's cool, too. That's cool. I'll take that.
Tell us why you're not going to a show.
Right. Yeah, you want to tell us why you're not going to a show? Do you really want to hear the answer you're going to get? If that's you, by all means call in. I'll have that conversation with you. I don't care, but you might choose to not want to make that phone call. So if anybody wants to call in, Chris is going to be on in about 20 minutes. We're going to hang here a little bit longer before we take our break. If anybody wants to call in and discuss M3's past or any kind of vibe that you feel when you go to these festivals, by all means, call in. And I imagine
shows,
some
or venues
or anything.
Just like great,
We're opening it up, dude. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's keep it music related, please. Some people, when you open up the door,
rules on it.
Look. If it wasn't for some dipshit burning themselves with coffee, McDonald's would have never had to put fucking labels on the thing saying coffee is fucking hot.
Coffee.
That person got what was it? I don't know, $2.6 million fucking dollars because they were stupid. Fuck those idiots.
I'm just mad I didn't think of it first.
Right. Well, because of that one fucking person, though, it's why you see all these damn labels on things and you look at it and go, fucking really? You really got to put that on there? Yeah. You really got to say things and put disclaimers so people don't fucking sue you.
Right.
Stupid ass shit.
They are.
See, I could go off on all kinds of rants. But let's stick to the music stuff, all right?
Music, not McDonald's.
Right. Fuck them. I got a fucking Happy Meal for them. But anyway, let's switch gears for a quick second. And go from M3 to, let's talk about how there's another free show, I believe, that's coming in a couple of weeks. We should probably talk about that.
What?
A free show, free.
Oh, they were my favorite.
Free.
Wait a minute. I think I booked airline tickets for that because I go to the show.
Okay, we interrupt this free broadcast. Because evidently there's a phone call.
What? Somebody's listening. All right, we have a listener.
Sweet. Who we got? Maybe we don't have a listener.
Oh, boy.
Hello? Listener? Caller in?
Hello?
Hey, I hear something now.
Hello?
Who's that?
I just wanted to call and let you know you're an opinionated asshole.
This is somebody we know. You know what? You're on my Christmas card list, whoever you are.
What's up, William?
What's happening? Who is this? Because I
James.
can't. James who?
Ultimo.
Oh, there you go. Okay. There's a couple James out there, buddies, and I can't recognize your voice, but you know what? It makes sense. You would have been the one to call. You would have been the one to call in and tell me I'm an opinionated asshole.
I just wanted to tell you you're an opinionated asshole. That's the only thing I called.
It's perfect, brother. It's perfect. You've been to a few.
Dude, how are you guys?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I can't wait. I'm excited.
I know. I get to hug you again.
Ha! Who gives a shit? It's July 4th weekend, right?
Right. And again,
I don't
for
care
some
if they
people,
put it on fucking Christmas. I'm coming.
That's it. That's it,
Nice.
baby.
Nice.
It's again like.
Dude, yeah, you were talking about 2015. I think 14 was my first.
And what did you?
Yeah, that was when I popped my cherry.
What did you feel about that after that first weekend?
Yeah, it was definitely something different because, like you said, it's a marathon. It's just a crazy time. And actually, that year I got to go backstage because I knew one of the bands.
Nice.
So it was an even better experience for me,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but it's an addiction. It's like tattoos.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
It's an absolute addiction.
I love tattoos.
Yeah, no, it's just something, it's like a vacation for me. It's one of my vacations every year.
There you go. There are people that actually plan their vacations around that, man. I mean, I know plenty of them that do.
Absolutely. I mean, it's such an amazing time, and again, it's not just the concert; it's the people, like you said. It's amazing.
Exactly. Big family reunion.
What's that?
So it's a big family reunion. I mean,
Oh,
every year,
absolutely.
you know,
And just-
sometimes it's better than your family reunion.
That's true. That's very
Well,
true.
you still have the drunk uncle in the corner, though, so that's always
Oh yeah.
usually me.
Well, yeah, but the problem is that at M3, there's like, I don't know, 10,000 drunk uncles in the corner. So
Right.
it's amplified.
Oh man, keep it going, guys. Yeah, it's definitely. I'm excited to see everybody, and it's gonna be a good fucking time as usual.
Absolutely, bro.
Oh,
I look
yeah.
forward to seeing you. We haven't seen each other in a long fucking while. And I would imagine, is Nikki coming with you?
I don't know if I'm gonna let her, but most likely.
Just stay at home.
Gotta behave herself, and then we'll go from there.
Nice. You know she's listening right next to him, right? All right, brother. Well, I appreciate
All right, guys. I look forward to it, man.
you calling in,
Hell
brother.
yeah.
Keep up the
Thanks.
good work.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Peace.
Okay, that was fun.
Yeah.
I never did a
I
call
like how we
before. Is
started it out.
there any
Yeah,
more out there?
started out
Or is it just the one
with
telling me I'm an
opinionated
opinionated asshole? That's it.
I like that.
We got one
Just
phone
call
call.
in and tell them like it is. Yeah.
We get one phone call, and it's the one guy that for sure is going to call me. Oh, wait a minute. Now there's another one. All right, let's take another one real quick.
Shit.
It's funny.
Who is this?
Hello.
Hello.
They hung up. Oh, somebody beat him to the calling me an opinionated asshole punch, and they had to hang up. They didn't have a
Right.
question after that. It's all good. So, what? I guess I was trying to figure out the best way to put this. What do you think, Mike, is the cure for some of this, lack of support that people go into shows? What do you think would be a cure to that? I mean, do we have to entice people out to his shows with giveaways constantly? I mean, if we got to do it, we got to do it. You know what I mean? I'm not opposed to giving away something.
I don't know. That's the question everybody wants an answer to. How do we get these people there? What do we have to do? We put together a great lineup, and where are they at? You could put, it doesn't matter what you do. You could put, everybody screams that they want hardcore superstar.
Right.
Everybody screams that they want these European bands to come over.
Right.
You have Accept on the bill at M3.
Right.
People are still bitching. Accept, I don't think, has ever been there. Accept hasn't toured in the U.S. for a long time.
Right.
But they're bitching that, we don't get anything. Okay, you're going to get 15, 20 other bands and Accept.
Right.
I mean, and their new album kicks ass. I mean,
I haven't heard it.
they ain't no slouch. Oh, oh my God. I think I got it somewhere down here.
Are we going to have like the phone call conversation where you play it for me?
No. Oh, we could do that.
We could do that, couldn't we?
Yeah. Dude, you got to hear this album, man. It's fucking awesome. And then
That's
we'll just
funny
sit
as
there
shit.
for 45 minutes. My dad will come in and go, what are you doing on the bus? Yeah. It's all good. But no, I listened to that album probably on the way to Myrtle Beach one time. And it just, I gave it a shot. I don't usually care for, bands tend to go off on a little bit, because we all do grow up. They're not going to sing about sex,
Who grows
drugs, and
up?
rock and roll all their life. Well, they say this to me, and it's like, because I interview a few of them, and they're like, we can't really do the same music we did, the same lyrics, because we've all, we got different lives, different, things going on that, and sometimes you don't gel with that anymore. But then there's other bands that they sit there, they still have it, and they still, Accept is one of the bands. I mean, I put it in my ears and started listening to it. I was like, man, this is freaking amazing. But, you got to get out there. And now what I do is I do check it out. Band has a new album out. Check it out.
We're gonna go to another phone call. Let's see what this one's all
Yay!
about. Hello. fucking asshole.
I
What
know
an
who this
asshole.
is. I
Yeah,
know who this is. This
Yeah, we
guy's
all know
great.
who the fuck that is.
He's awesome.
There he is.
Tom,
What are you doing, you little fucker?
Busting your stones.
Fucking ding ding. Here, how about this?
Yeah.
How about this?
we need to have Lil John Ross in the studio again.
Yeah, we should. We should.
He needs to be your chaperone every time. Yeah.
You want him to be my chaperone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what you're saying there, Mike?
I do, but hey,
No, I don't think you. I don't think you want either one of us to be either one of us as chaperone. Trust me.
It's all going to be hilarious, whatever happened.
We got LJ from Rat Rod on the phone, y'all. For those that don't know, say hi, LJ.
Hey guys.
He decided he was going to be a prick
See,
today.
all you had to do is let me play with the bell in the studio. That's it.
Yeah, and instead I get the
He
phone
likes
call
to
with the
play
fucking
with the
ding in it.
bell.
It's kind of ball busting
LJ
shit I
likes
gotta
to
put up
play
with,
with
man.
Yeah.
Get involved.
You know how it is.
Get involved in the music scene. They said, manage bands. They
Yeah.
said it'll be fun.
Ah,
It'll be fun.
they said.
Oh, come on. Tell me it isn't fun.
Well, there's some fun stuff. There's definitely
Oh,
some fun
Come
stuff.
on.
And there's a bunch of shit I could do without, but whatever.
Well, for the most part, it's fun.
What are you doing today? Why are you calling me anyway? Just to be a pain in the ass?
Of course. Come on. What else is there to do on a nice Saturday afternoon when you're on the radio?
Ugh. All right, that's it. Fuck you. We're going to a break anyway.
Go.
Go.
Have fun.
I'll talk to
Wow,
you.
no wonder we can't get any listeners. Jesus Christ.
He knows. He knows. If he's watching the video, I can do this to him, and he knows that's I love you. He knows.
Okay. All right. I hope
LJ
so. Well, we
LJ
just lost our last listener.
LJ, thanks for calling in and giving me the ding, you little bastard. And he gone. He gone.
He already left. You pissed
All right.
him off.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go ahead and do our first and probably only music break this one, and we are gonna play some new music from Babylon Shakes. So when we come back from break, we are gonna be talking to the man Chris Clark, lead singer and guitar player of Babylon Shakes. You're getting two. We'll be on our break, and we'll see you in a couple minutes. Peace.
Later.
All right. That was the Great Babylon Shakes. For those of you that don't know, Mr. Chris Clark is the lead singer, guitar player. There he is right there. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. What's up, man?
Just kind of hanging out, trying to keep my rants to a minimum and not alienate people.
Normal day.
Normal day. There you go. So we got Mike on the phone lines now. We shifted over so we could put Chris on the video, but Mike's still with us. You there, Mike?
Yeah, he's better looking anyway, so it's cool.
He better looking at both of us. They might as well just put him right in the middle of the screen and just focus on him.
Right, yeah. I like it.
So, yeah, just like that. See, there you go. Ask and you shall receive. It's all you, Chris. It's all by yourself there, buddy.
There we go.
So how's life, big guy?
Been really good. Been busy and God, musically, and it's been so far 2021's been pretty awesome for us, and the rest of the summer is looking like we're going to be. So yeah, all good.
I think your phone's starting to slide down.
Ah.
I'm just noticing everything's kind of going. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, where's it going?
Here we go.
Right on. So I was fortunate enough, and so were a few others. A couple of months ago, we brought you down to Baltimore, brought you up to Baltimore, and you played a private show with Rat Rod for us. And man, I gotta say, the transitions that this band has gone through over the last couple of years, I've been fortunate enough to witness all of it, and it's been amazing stuff. But man, I gotta tell you, this new vein that you all have got into and that you're writing now, it's just, I know it sounds cliche, but man, it speaks to my soul. It's good stuff. And watching you guys that night, I was just blown away. I mean, again, the energy in the room that you guys brought and the energy that the fans brought, it made for a really, really amazing performance. And for me, not that there was a doubt anyway before, but it just reestablished that, man, I love what you guys do. I really do, bro.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Yeah, it's been a huge evolution for us because we kind of went through the whole like Blouse Brothers period, which started as like we're just going to play some acoustic stuff and maybe do some older covers. And what happened was we started really getting into the Stones and the Faces and the Allman Brothers and some older blues and soul, and all of a sudden that starts bleeding into the songs and the songwriting, and it just evolved naturally into and what it's become now. And 2020 is such an anomaly, such a weird year for everybody, but there was all, for us, I think the silver lining was we kind of went back to the drawing board and basically we just rewrote everything. And what you hear now is the product of that.
Yeah, it's you and I have had conversations about this before, and I really, first of all, when for people that don't know, Babylon Shakes started out as a 3-piece called Babylon Shakes in 2017, if that's right. I think that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And basically at that time, Babylon Shakes was sleaze if you please, vintage sleaze if you please. I mean, you were right in that whole LA sleaze kind of sound. It was great. It was awesome. I think everybody enjoyed that version of the band very, very much. And then that evolved into, you guys kind of wanted to say, okay, we don't want to be a 3-piece anymore. Gary's going to switch over to playing some rhythm, and we were going to find a bass player. And you did that. And when you did, that's where it changed over to being the Blouse Brothers. And that music was great. It was different from what Babylon was. And it was great. And I enjoyed listening to it very much. And I think now coming to the new, when you brought the name back, when you said a couple months ago, it's like you put up the name and it was like, okay, I had a million questions, and I think I messaged you, and I was like, "What? So, is this going to be the same as the old? Is this going to?" It's like, "What's going on here?" And you had said that No. It's not a return to what the old is. You know, we're just bringing the name back, and I was like, okay, cool. And then when I heard it, and I was like, wait a minute. It's like, okay, you brought the brand back, but what what the current brand is a culmination of both of those parts. You know, the original Babylon Shakes lineup and that music, and the Blouse Brothers stuff. And I think that with this now new material that Babylon is doing, I think you guys have fucking nailed it, dude. I mean, really nailed it. I mean, again, the Sleaze was great, but this is a whole nother world of difference. And that those influences that you spoke of, the Stones and Stewart and Faces and I can hear that in there. But I hear a lot of things in there, man, and I hear a lot of things that are uniquely you, which is also something that I really like, because you know, like your voice and how you sing and how you tell your stories, for me anyway, and I think for everybody that listens to you guys, your voice is kind of synonymous with that. You know, whatever the brand may be, your voice stays the same. It didn't. I mean, there's obviously different, inflections and stuff like that, but it's still you. You didn't try to change your singing style or your tone or any of that. And I think with the current stuff you guys are doing, man, it bleeds perfectly in there, man. It's great, and I'm super stoked.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead and chime in on what you think of that new stuff.
Dude, that new stuff just it's amazing. Most sophomore albums, they just don't live up to what the first album was. And this one is just, oh my God. The first two songs that I've heard are just light years ahead of the other one. Not that there was anything bad with Velveteen Lounge, but this is just, you've grown. I see that, 2020 has given you time to sit down, reflect, not push something out really quick, just get it to where you want it, where it's got that Chris Clark stamp on it, something we know to expect good things from you. We know that voice, like Will said. And the first two songs that I've heard are just like, holy shit, wow. And now I got to see you play live. Where are you going to be playing live, man? I need to be there.
Yeah, Chris, go ahead and why don't you throw some dates out there, man, while we're talking about that. What do you got coming up?
The very next show we got is May 15th in Stanton, Virginia, which is like our home base. We're playing it's like a rooftop outdoor bar it's called the Pompeii Lounge, and we hang out there a lot. It's an old referral in downtown Stanton. It's really, really cool. So that's Saturday, May 15th, and we will be, I think it's okay to say this, and I hope it is. We'll be back in Baltimore in June.
Yeah.
Middle of
Nice.
that would be a big,
Yes, you will.
big
You hear that, Mike? You're coming to Baltimore for another show in June, pal.
I think Southwest is really gonna, they gotta put me on their employee list pretty soon. I mean, amount of money I spend anymore. But it's all for a good cause, man.
You got to go where the music goes, buddy.
I gotta go where the music's at, man. Baltimore, Delaware, Jersey. It seems to be that's where it's happening, man.
You've been the world traveler lately, Mike. You've been traveling all over the place the last couple of weeks.
Hey, I gotta come see you guys, man. I gotta come where the family's at.
There you go.
That's right.
I've hung at home long enough.
Is your wife around?
Yeah, she's in the other room. I'm gonna pay for that one.
Exactly, you are. So again, Chris, so currently now, let's also say this to people that don't know or do know. Babylon Shakes originally started out as a 3-piece. You, Jeff, and Gary. You added in a bass player for the I'm like drawing blanks today. I apologize. Blouse Brothers. You added a fourth player, and then now when you came up and played in Maryland, you were a 3-piece again. What's the status of that? Are you guys thinking about staying a 3-piece again? That ballsy 3-piece sound that you've been known for, or are you gonna go out and get a bass player?
We are sort of at the moment we're sort of sticking to the three-piece thing because it's really, the three of us that are the three core guys, and we always
Yeah.
always and it just seems to work really well. Ideally, we would love to have a full-time bass player. We'd love to have a keyboard player and singers, like a big, like, soul band. But
Yeah,
that's
I can see
probably
that.
yeah, that's way
I could
way
see
down
that.
the road.
I could totally see that.
Right.
But again, there's not many. I can't say there's not many. It's obvious I haven't seen them all, but there are very few local regional three-piece bands that I can listen to and go, wow, that's a lot of sound and a lot of things coming out of that three-piece. You guys are definitely have always been that from the inception. You guys came out, hit hard, and tons of energy, and just the music itself was big and ballsy. And it's hard for a three-piece to pull that off. And I know some people will say, well, even a four-piece band with a singer, it's still really just a three-piece. Well, that's the thing. You have a singer in there that doesn't have to worry about the guitar playing, doesn't have to worry about anything else but singing. You have, it's a different dynamic. When you step up, you're playing rhythms, you're playing leads, and you're singing. And that's difficult for anybody to do. You know what I mean? Truly is. Carrie just said she can learn to play keyboard. She'll come play in the band. Mike's wife.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Take her. Take her.
Wow. You just keep digging your hole, Mike. Keep digging your hole, buddy.
Hey, man. If I'm already in trouble, I might as well go for the, big time.
Oh, you're doing it. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
I'm worried less about me alienating listeners and more worried about what Carrie's going to do to you when the show's over.
Hey, we can video that.
Don't hurt him, Hammer. I need a co-host. Don't hurt him, Carrie. Just maybe bruise him a little bit. He can tell people he fell off.
I got to make it to Baltimore.
Right.
Got to make it to Baltimore in a couple of weeks.
With a black eye. With a black eye.
Okay. Then I'll just paint both eyes black and do like an Alice Cooper thing. It'll work.
You'll blend. It'll be fun.
Blend.
So, for those that don't know, I consider Chris a very close and personal friend. Myself and Wendy, my wife, and Chris and his wife Margie, we have this. There's a really cool connection between the four of us. When the four of us get together, we have a really good time. We talk music constantly, which is, what else do music fans do? But that bond and those bonds, if you were listening earlier, Chris, we were talking about M3 2015 and how kind of very much life-changing it was for a lot of us just for meeting people. Not that we had anything, life-changing happen that was drastic right in the moment, but, the people that you meet at these festivals, and especially that one for whatever reason, again, I said divine intervention earlier. I mean, there's something going on there for all of us to be in that same space at the same time, not know each other at all, and then you look at us now. You know what I mean? And the example I'm using is as the couples, us and you guys. Just look at that dynamic. It's like, how did that happen? You know what I mean? So just touch on the energy that you felt like 2015 in particular.
Oh man, that was amazing because Last Call Messiahs, I think that was our second year in existence, and we hadn't played outside of Raleigh. Yeah, the whole Raleigh area. And we got the gig with Dave Dillman, and I was like about 11, because I'd always heard about M3 but had never been, and it I'd really never been up that far north to play, so it was huge. I'll never forget driving up there, and I was with our Chuck, and we experienced traffic on 95 like I've never seen before.
Welcome to Maryland.
Like, oh my God, we barely made it to Sonoma's. We slid in just in time to get all our shit out of the truck, loading in. It was maybe 10 minutes, and we're sound checking.
Right.
And but the energy was just super, super excited. I couldn't believe it. And it was crazy to walk in to a place and you're looking around and you're like, wait a minute, are they in a band? Look at that guy. Look at that girl. Look at, everybody looks like they're from the same planet. planet, and I'm found, where I belong. This is
Yeah.
I'm not the only weirdo long hair with black clothing on in town, and it was crazy. I'll never
You are
forget.
the weirdo long hair.
And I'll never forget. I'm setting up my amp and getting ready to check and tuning my guitar, and this girl comes right up to the front of the stage, sticks her hands out, and she says, "Hey, thank you guys so much for playing." And I'm like, wow, it's really awesome. It was Margie.
Nice.
And I'll never forget that. I was like, that's really amazing. And it, for some, it just really, it touched my soul. I'll never forget it. And yeah, that whole night was amazing. It was kind of a blur too, because there were a lot of Jaeger shots involved.
Right. A lot of alcohol.
No.
Yeah.
Especially
Cardboard Gene.
Yeah, Cardboard Gene. Yes, definitely
Cardboard
Cardboard Gene. For those of you that don't,
wow.
for those that don't know, we're gonna tell the Cardboard Gene story real quick. So, Cardboard Gene is a life-size cutout of Gene Simmons that the Toledo Wrecking Crew brought with them for M3 that rode in the van the entire way, and I think they had him propped up in one of the windows so that anybody that was passing him, I mean, you're seeing Gene in full costume staring out the window. So they bring Cardboard Gene to the pre-party and set him outside, and literally everybody gravitated to take pictures with freaking Cardboard Gene. He was the big hit of the pre-party that year. It was amazing. Just watching the sober and drunk people alike. I mean, everybody just all over Cardboard Gene. For anybody that didn't know Toledo Wrecking Crew before then, they knew him after that for sure.
That's right.
Jim, Steve, and Thomas.
Yeah, and it was again. There's all these connections that were made that year, and starting at the pre-party and going through the weekend, and it was I can't explain it, man. It's like you said, though. It was an amazing thing to be part of. And again, for whatever reason, that year being different, you've been to M3 since. They're fun. They're great. You have an awesome time. But I haven't yet felt that kind of energy, since then. That intense, that amazing. Where, again, it's people talk about it in life all the time. It's not the people you currently know, it's the connections that you continue to make. And whether those connections be in business or in life and in friendship, when you resonate with somebody, that's somebody, you want to, we all met at a festival. We all lived in states away from each other, but it resonated and we wanted to be around each other more. You know what I mean? And I think there's so many people that take that for granted that they don't, I'm like one of these guys that when you're walking down the street, Chris, Mike, either one of you, and you see somebody and you don't know them. You don't know them. But there's something so familiar. You know what I mean? I'm one of these guys that'll walk up to that person and actually start a conversation because I'm of the belief that there's something, they have information for me. There's something, it could be something completely minute. You know what I mean? Something little, but they have a piece of information for me. So I'll literally, if I see somebody, I'll start a conversation with them. Well, M3 was that the entire weekend. It was, I don't know that person, but I need to go talk to them. You know what I mean? It was just, it's a nuts.
Right.
It's a nuts the amount of energy that flows around. And what are you thinking about now that music's coming back, bro? That they're announcing festivals left and right. M3 said we're doing it. We're coming, July 4th. I mean, everybody that's in is in, and then you have your people that complain every year. But it seems to me after a year and a half, nobody should be complaining. You know what I mean? It's just celebrate the fact that we have live music and just enjoy it. That it's back, whatever capacity or shape or form it is. You guys as musicians, you live for that. You live to play live. I mean, what's the point of creating music if you can't be in front of an audience and giving them your gospel, so to speak,
That's the whole inspiration. I mean, it really is. I've written songs based on the fact that I was so excited that I knew we were going to get to go play somewhere, that that it inspires me to write more. I mean, it's just you're right. It's the gospel. It is the great inspiration for everything. And man, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm very hopeful. For the longest time in 2020, I was really down and depressed, but it seems like the turn of this year, like February, March, once we knew we were going to start playing again, and weather gets a little bit better, it starts to warm up, and there's more sunshine. I'm really hopeful that we're just kind of gone over the crest of this wave, and that things are getting better, and we'll see. We've got tickets to see the Black Crowes. I think it's Friday, July 2nd.
Yeah.
And I'm still I don't know, I haven't heard the final word if that tour is still happening or not, but so that remains to be seen. But if not,
I know where you'll be.
I
was gonna say I know where you'll be if that's not going on. I know where you'll be.
He'll be there.
And that Crowes tour, dude. That when they announced that a couple months ago now, I guess when they announced that, I was like, where? When's it? Where? Find me a show. Find me 5 shows because I want to go to all of them. You know what I mean? Because that for me is one of those bands that I've seen a couple times live, and they're just fucking amazing. You know what I mean? They are very good at removing you from your real world life and saying, okay, for the next 2 hours, we're gonna bring you in and we're gonna hold you here. You know what I mean? They're very good at that. And if anybody's never seen Black Crowes before, even if you're not a huge fan of their music, go to the show because it is energy packed, and they make you feel part of their family. They really do. I don't run into a whole lot of many artists that really do that well. Those guys do a really good job just through the music of bringing you in and holding you in there. So I hope you get to go. I really do. Granted, I know that means we miss you, M3, but totally understand. Black Crowes is one of those things for me too. I'd be like, if it happened here on M3 weekend, I'd be like, oh crap. All right, well, I'm missing one day of M3 because I'm going to this. You know what I mean? As much as I sit here and say we love M3, we love the vibe, there's shows that you're going to, that are on your list no matter what. If they're in your area, you're going, so I get that completely.
Right. I've only seen them. Somebody asked me the other day because all 3 of us in the band are just obsessed with the Crowes, and we love them, and asked me the other day, like, how many times have you? It was Brad Lee. He's like, how many times have you seen him? I'm like, believe it or not, I've only seen him one time.
Really?
And that was one time. They were opening for Robert Plant. This was probably 1990. 1990. Robert Plant had
wow.
Yeah, that would have been 1990 because Shake Your Moneymaker came out in 89, correct, or 89 or 90?
89, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So they would have been.
It was.
Yeah, they still would have been
the
touring
original
under that album. So yeah, you got to see them when they were raw.
Wow.
Oh my god, they were young and snotty,
arguing on stage with each other. The brothers Robinson. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, because they were. It's funny that's a band that came right out of the gate, and you understood that the brothers fucking hated each other. It was just like, how does this happen? It's like you're hearing their music. You bought the CD, and you're like, fuck, this is awesome. And then you go see them live, and back then especially, you could just see on stage the disdain they had for each other. It was like, oh, this is not going to be good. And then it's the opposite. You know what I mean? It's like that tension, whatever that brotherly tension is, works in that band regardless. You know what I mean? It's like they both have the same voice in the same band through their playing and singing. So it's like they just go through the motions and get it out. That's a great band, man. I've seen them probably 5 or 6 times, and every time has been amazing, man. Oh, actually no, I've seen them 4 times, and then I saw the Chris Robinson Brotherhood once. So
nice. Yeah.
Technically,
Nice.
technically it's still kind of gross. But that was a separate project in itself, and it was different. I mean, it was similar sounding, but it was definitely different. It was definitely Chris having another voice outside of what the Crowes were doing, so I could respect that. But it wasn't the Black Crowes.
Yeah.
So what was the other question I had in mind? Mike, you got a question while I try to think about this other one? Shit.
Not really, but I'm just here for the conversation.
I was just trying to put him.
I was just
trying to put him on the hook.
We were talking
Hey,
about
you haven't released the new album, have you yet?
no, we haven't. It's just those two singles
That's
right
what I
now.
thought.
But we've got it's between 10 altogether that we've got basic tracks done, and we are
Good.
shooting to have everything mixed, mastered, and processed, and we're going vinyl by the end of the year. We're maybe September, but
Okay.
we're doing everything ourselves in house. So it's
Good man.
it's been a challenge, but it'll be worth it when it gets done. So
Yeah, that's
Well, if the two first songs are any indication, this is going to be a smoking album.
oh, thanks, man. Yeah, both of those are really good representations of what's to come. They really are.
Good.
It's a lot of blues, soul, just it's good. A lot of 70s kind of energy in it.
yeah.
Hey.
Well, you went from
Some
vintage.
good Chris Clark music.
You went from vintage sleaze, if you please, to what's the new tagline now?
Oh, vintage soul rock and roll.
There it is. I love that, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that. That was another cool thing. It's like, okay, you brought the brand name back, and then you re-tagline your tagline, and I was just like, holy shit, this is fucking brilliant, man. But yeah, it's vintage soul for your. I mean, dude, there's so many good things about this band. I'm playing fanboy on this particular interview today, so everybody that's out there going, oh, it's your friend. Yeah, you're damn right he's my friend, but he's also a really fucking good musician, and you can all suck a dick. That's what I fucking think. But Chris, I can.
We just lost everybody.
I don't care. I don't care. Again, I told y'all this show was gonna be more me, and me. I don't give a shit. I mean, it's good music, man, and it's even if we weren't close friends, I would still listen to this body of work and think the same thing that I do, because again, like we always say, the music speaks for itself. Let the music do the talking. This stuff really does, man, and I'm glad. I'm happy to see not that I didn't like the Blouse Brothers stuff, because I did. It was just a different vibe, but I'm so glad that when you brought this back, it's a combination of the two, and it's the perfect vein where you guys should be, man. And it's funny because I've heard people talk about, oh, well, that whole Southern rock vibe is dead. It's like, well, first of all, the Southern rock vibe is a blues vibe, and the blues vibe is not fucking dead. So,
dead.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I wouldn't necessarily put you guys in that category of being Southern rock, but the influence is definitely there. And I personally think that whole subgenre is making a comeback. I really do, because there are some really talented fucking bands that are doing that whole blues, Southern rock, soulful, just really good stuff. And me personally, I've always been a blues guy, so I'm happy to see blues coming back into a lot of the music that's being, put out there now by more local and regional than anybody. But, that whole genre, I believe, is making a comeback. And I really hope it does, because it's good music. It's just, when people talk about country music, they always say people that like country music will tell you that they like country music because it's a storytelling and it's real life. They talk about things that everyday people do. Well, the Southern rock genre and that 70s classic sound, it's the same thing. It's storytelling. It was just different life that they were telling about. You know what I mean? And where country people would think is all Southern, it's not. Southern rock is definitely distinctly in its own little wheelhouse. It's been compared to outlaw country. I mean, there's all those comparisons too. And I think they're valid, but that whole Southern sound, that soulful Southern sound, man, I'm so happy I'm happy that it's back in your music. I'm happy that it's coming back. I think more people are showing an interest in it. You know what I mean? The podcaster that I referenced once before, that I can't remember his name, but he was talking about what's killing rock and roll, and his main thing was the absence of the blues. You know what I mean? If the blues isn't in the music, that's what's been killing rock and roll for the last 10, 15 years, because the auto tuning and all the shit that goes on with current music, there's no blues in that. There's no real attitude in it. Yeah, it's got punch, it's got, crunchiness and hardness to it, but when you auto tune the shit out of everything, you take the soul and you take the blues right out of the music, because the biggest part of the blues and soul is it wasn't perfect. You know what I mean? It totally
Right.
wasn't perfect. I watched a documentary last night on Netflix about Robert Johnson. Have you seen that yet?
Oh, that's really, really good.
Yeah, man. I got some insight on him that I thought was really cool that I never really knew. And there's so little that's known about that guy. But the one thing that everybody will tell you is Robert Johnson is the king of rock and roll, because without Robert Johnson and the way he played and the influence that he had and still has, you know, on legions and legions of guitar players and songwriters, for a guy that only released 29 songs, that's pretty amazing. You know what I mean?
And there's only one known photograph of the man too. I think that's just so crazy.
Yeah, and they showed the documentary. They kept going back to that photo too, and you see how they were made a point that he could play the way he could because he had long fingers. You could see in that picture, he's got like these. I mean, they're huge, the long fingers. And they said that, you know, that hey, Frankie just chimed in. He said, "Hey, Chris." But you know, the absence of the blues. I believe that guy's right. The absence of the blues has really hurt rock and roll. It's made it mundane sounding. It's made it all sound the same. All the guitars in these bands now, I can't like from the opening chords, I can't tell what fucking band is what because they all sound the same. You know, they're all in that weird drop tuning and just, you know, weird effects going on, and they all sound exactly the same. Give me the blues, man. Give me the blues. Give me the soul. Give me the individual that wrote it. Give me your heart. Give me what you're feeling, man. Give me all of that emotion, because for me as a music fan, music without emotion is just noise. You know what I mean? And it's sad to see what current state has kind of gone to. And again, I could touch on so many reasons. You know, it's like the point I made about, you know, the power used to be in the DJ's hands to play whatever he wanted. And when corporate America and the three major corporations that now own all of commercial radio came in and said, "Here's your playlist. This is Rick Beto is the guy on YouTube. Swing, thanks. Rick Beto, the guy on YouTube that talks about the blues going away. Swing's the one that sent me that link. So check it out when you get a chance. It's pretty cool. But you know, the idea that, you know, music or that rock and roll is dead. It's not dead, man. It's gone underground, and I'm kind of happy about that in a way, because it's not going to get overexposed and then again overanalyzed and overpolished, and just, you know, people that do blues style rock and roll or blues style music, they're not in this to make a bunch of money, man. They're in this because they get what music is. They get how that genre, or that, you know, they get the vibe that the blues has always based itself in. You know, that, you know, the blues is very much everyday life. It's definitely stuff we can all relate to. And I'm not talking about just lyrically. When you hear a slow slide going on, you know what I mean, on an acoustic guitar, and, you know, like you hear that delta sound. When you hear that from an opening note of a song, you know you're about to go for a ride. You know what I mean? And
That's right.
music's missing that. And I'm glad that guys like you are doing, you know, that kind of thing with your music still. And it shows. It resonates. It resonates with me, and I think it resonates with a lot of people. And, you know, the show you came up and played for us at the studio, that was a family audience. I mean, that was definitely all family in there. And I'm sure you guys felt that love. And again, it's not just because of you. It's because of the music. It's because of how it's written and how it's performed. And I give you guys mad props, and I will always, for doing your brand and doing it the way you are. May not be the most popular thing out there for people to go and see, but I think it's coming around, and I think people are starting to come around a little bit to it. So I appreciate everything you guys do, man. And I'm happy to see the name come back, and I'm happy to see that it's, you know, a transition of difference from the old Babylon. And it's everything you're doing is right, Chris. I'm just going to sit here and blow you a little longer. It's just, you know, everything you guys are doing is great. And, you know, just keep doing what you're doing, bro. And don't change it. Just don't change it. It's fucking great.
I got a good story for you about why we went back to the name. This
Okay.
is like was like one of the major moments for me that was like, wow, you know what? That name was really cool from the beginning. I was on my way to band practice in Virginia, 3 hours away. We always get together at Gary's, and on the way, I was going to drop off a housewarming gift for a friend, Danita Brown. All of us, you know, she's part of the
Danita.
family.
Yes, she is.
So I
Anita.
go and knock on the door, and Danita comes out. She's got a Babylon Shakes baseball shirt. That's cool. Yeah, cool. So we go in. She's showing me her house, and I get the tour of the kitchen and everything. And then she's like, this is my office where I'm working at home. And I look in there, and there's 2 pictures on all of the walls in this whole room. One is Christ, and the other is the Babylon portrait that Chris Carroll did in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
And it was like a bolt of thunder. I was like, wow, man. And then from that moment on, it was like, you know what? The name always really had a lot of power to it and was really something special. And I went and joined the guys at rehearsal. And for some reason, before we even like opened this bottle of wine, like, yeah, we should do something about the band name. And I'm like, you guys want to go back to the Babylon name? And both of them look at me. They're like, yes, we've been waiting for you. Waiting for that to hit you.
There again, that's cool that, once again, not just a fan, but a fan and family member, Danita, you walked in and there's your picture. You know what I mean? It's on her wall.
Yeah.
And you said there's 2 pictures. That's it. And you guys are one of them. And the fact that you could be not regenerated, but energized over simply having, somebody having your picture on a wall because it meant a lot to them. You know what I mean? That's there's no greater inspiration than that, man. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Oh, it was huge. Yeah. Yeah. I knew at that moment things were going to change. We were heading in the right direction. We just needed like that bolt out of the blue to happen, and it did.
Yeah, I'm glad it did, dude. Like I said, I can't say enough. I mean, we got those 2 songs, and Mike's heard them. I've heard them. I got to hear them live. Mike hasn't.
Oh, soon I will in June or July, whichever date it was. I think it's July, June. I don't know. One of them J months. I'll be able to hear them live. Don't worry.
Well, that's good because
Definitely a J month.
You're in for a treat.
It's a J month.
You're definitely in for a treat, Mike. That's because it's only. I mean, what you remember.
I know that.
From what you remember of the original, Babylon Shakes. It's 10 times the intensity. It's 10 times the energy, and it's the return to the blues, man. And like Chris said to me when I messaged him that day, and I'm like, so you're bringing the name back? Is it going to be the same thing? And he said, I'll tell you this. Big guitars are back. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. Here we go. That's what I want to hear. Big guitars are back. Okay, good. I'm sold. I don't need to ask you any more questions.
Last time I saw you guys was Rock Atlanta. And that was a great show. I mean, holy crap.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But if you're
I was trying to think when the last time we saw each other was, and we were talking earlier, or just messaging or commenting about Raleigh, and God, man, Raleigh's just everything's disappearing like crazy. Like I think I commented about the Maywood, Southland Ballroom, Deep South, and
Southland.
Hey, is there any truth to that?
Southland
Is there any truth to that rumor that said that the venue, the Maywood, he will actually hire the venue out, like you could actually rent it out?
I don't know. I haven't heard. That would be wonderful, though. That's a great room.
Dude, if that's the case, let's put on a rock show. Seriously. Yeah. Like if they're willing, if they're willing to, rent the space out, they're just not opening it, whatever. But if they're willing to rent the space out, dude, come on. We all know people that can put a show together and come right into that joint. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right on.
Lefevre, Michelle Lefevre, man, she'll get it rolling too.
Yeah. Whatever it takes. I mean, again, if a venue's going to die off, but not totally die off like that, and say, okay, well, we're going to, allow our space to be used as a performance space and rent it out that way. Let's jump on that, man. You know what I mean? I don't know when we'll.
I'll get more information. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, you're down there, Chris. If you know anybody and you could make the phone call and see if that's a true thing, that would be awesome, dude.
Definitely. Yeah.
Put your.
I know there are bands that practice there too. There are rehearsal rooms in that facility.
Right.
So it's got to still be, operational at some level, you know.
Well, that gives me hope. I'm glad to hear that. That's good because it's closed, but it's not gone. It's just closed.
Right.
You know, so many of them have gone. You know what I mean? And that's a sad state of things. I had a guy reach out to me a couple of days ago. Actually, somebody up in PA sent him my way, and it's a band out of Athens, Georgia. More of a metalcore, I guess, band, like a harder metal band. And they were trying to put together a tour for September, October. And they were having problems finding a venue in the Baltimore area. So I sent him a couple things and we got to chatting or whatever. And he was just like, I said, dude, there's not, we had a bunch of them in the city, especially that catered to the hard metal bands. And they're all just going away, man. It's like they were hurting before COVID, and now COVID has just pushed them out completely. And it's the guy was like, he said, yeah, he said, even down here in Georgia, he said the 3 or 4 that we had that would showcase, local originals, he said they're gone. He said COVID came in and just crushed them. So I mean, it's happening everywhere. It's not it's not just my area or your area or Mike's area. It's globally happening everywhere. Or at least countrywide. I guess I can't say.
As long as they don't tear them down. Don't tear the building down.
Yeah, give somebody else.
COVID, we'll be back.
Yeah, give somebody else an opportunity to at least go after that building, to make it work for them. Right. But again, there too, finding somebody who's willing to spend a lot of money to do something like that, knowing that it may not make any money. Finding people that are willing to do that, it's far and few between, man. And I get it from a business standpoint, it's a lot of money to invest, and you don't know that it's going to work. I mean, it's a gamble. Any type of music venue is a gamble, especially now that we know that at any given minute they could shut it all down and take it all away. Truthfully, you know what I mean? It's like that makes people even, I think, more leery to get involved with it, because if they're doing it, they're throwing their life into it, and now that we know it at the drop of a hat, that can be taken from somebody. It makes a difficult decision for somebody to get in business with, to say, I want to open up a venue. I'd love to open up a venue. I mean, that was, like Brad mentioned to me the first show. He was like, I remember your first ambitions were to own a venue, and I was like, you're right. I said they were. And then I just got involved with everything else that I got involved with, and I still think about it. I mean, at this point now, though, it would have to be an outdoor venue, just to kind of alleviate the worry of being shut down at any given moment. Not that they can't shut that down either, but that will come back before a bar will. You know what I mean? That would come back before any inside venue would. So, I mean, it's still in there in my mind, but at the same time, what do we do, Chris? I mean, what do we do about all these venues? I mean, you probably heard me earlier touch on it. It comes down to support. People just aren't going to see live music, and I don't know. I've racked my brain trying to figure out, and I'm sure you have too. Everybody has. How does we continue this? You know what I mean? How do we make it better? How do we get it revitalized? No one person can do it. We all know that. That's why we've all kind of teamed up on our own circles of people and said, together we can at least make a difference, let it, be heard. But I mean, what do we do about these venues, Chris?
It's tough, and I think I heard Mark from Rat Rod on this podcast a couple of weeks or a few weeks back, talking about, even 20 years ago, it was difficult. 10, 20 years ago. Man, it's tough. I went to a show last year. It was last year during the pandemic. It was in Greensboro, a place called the Blind Tiger. And it was Eric Gales, who's a phenomenal blues guitar player. I mean, he's incredible. He was on like the Shrapnel label with all the shredders, late 80s. But he's got like this full band now, and it was almost like Sly and the Family Stone, except he'll solo and he's inside of this like magnificent soul music. Phenomenal show. But the way it was set up, you purchased an advance ticket. It was limited capacity. You had to get there. I think doors were like 7 to 7:30, and you had to purchase like a meal. You got like a Jimmy John's sub or something. But anyway, there was one. There was no opening act, but there was a DJ. And the DJ played for maybe 45 minutes, starting at 8:00 promptly. DJ plays like really good thunder Earth, Wind, and Fire. Everybody's getting pumped up. Anyway, Eric's band comes out right before 9 o'clock. They played till 11 o'clock.
Nice.
Bam. Lights come on. That's it.
2-hour
And
show
we-
though. That's good.
Yeah. So, and we got home in time to, have like a nightcap, and we're completely refreshed the next day. I think that's important too. Just kind of getting an earlier start,
Right.
and keeping it condensed. I think, I think you did a Studio E. I know the night we played with Rat Rod. There was 2 bands. Each of us got like an hour and a half. Showtime starts at 8. That was just great. The old days of we're going to stack 5 bands on a bill, and the showtime starts at 9.
Don't
And
get
you
me
get out of
started.
there.
Oh,
Oh my god,
no.
we're too old for that.
Brad's doing the same thing.
Yeah, we are too old for
Brad's
that.
doing the same thing with Cancun Cantina. He starts it at 3.
Yep.
Puts 5 bands on.
Yep.
Is done by 10.
Yep.
On a Sunday. Looking for something to do on a Sunday anyway. Plus, you're home early enough where you can get up, get back to work. You're not missing any work. You're not missing any time. You're still getting to bed.
Yep.
So yeah, that works.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Free. Free. Cancun Cantina. But
Free.
yeah, I think that works because there's been a lot of people that have said, you put it on a weeknight, you start it on 7. By the time the band that I want to see goes on,
Right.
it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like, okay, I'm willing to do that, but I'm going to run out of vacation days at some point.
Right.
That's
But
right.
Just quit your job,
doing
Mike.
it-
Just quit. I'm gonna fucking quit too. We'll
I
both
can
quit.
do that.
We'll both just quit. Fuck it.
Okay, we'll quit.
All right, I'm quitting
We
tomorrow.
got sugar mamas, right?
That's right.
Oh,
We got
okay.
sugar mamas.
Chris, you have Margie. I have Carrie. Bill's got freaking Wendy.
Yeah.
We got our sugar mamas.
All right. We're all quitting as of
Let's do
Monday
that.
morning. We're all calling our bosses and we're all quitting.
Monday morning. Well, I'm quitting now. I'm gonna text him.
I'm gonna text him. I quit. 25
Right.
years of service. I
You're
quit.
Quit.
You're gonna get some phone calls.
Right. Our bosses don't.
Right.
Our bosses don't listen to this shit. And by bosses, I mean
No.
by bosses, I mean the wives.
Right. Well, mine's in the other room listening.
Mine's 2 hours away, but she's there. I know she's there. I saw her comment earlier too. She's watching. But
Oh yeah.
so yeah, I think Chris, what the point you made about 4 and 5 bands stacked on a show, unless they're done like a Brad Lee show where it starts early in the afternoon and goes, but these evening shows and those days of stacking 4 and 5 bands, I'm happy to see that go because I think that contributes to people not wanting to go out because they got to sit through what they may consider 3 shitty bands to get to 1 or 2 good ones, and they don't want to do that. They'd rather stay home, drink $20 worth of beer over the first 3 hours, and then show up to the venue, see their band, and leave. Now, I hate that. I hate that people will show up and just see one band and go. But when you stack 4 and 5 bands on a show like that, that's what you're going to get. That's what's going to happen. But I think
And you got to understand why they do it.
right. And I think that like what we're trying to do with Studio E shows, 2 bands. It's all you need. It's old school. Just 2 bands. You get 2 good bands on a
Old
stage.
school.
You give them equal time. You know what I mean? And just let them play. And I think that resonates a lot more with like the audience. That I'm telling you, that first one we did, dude, that was amazing. The energy in that room that night. And again, it was because that first one was the first one out of the gate. People were starved for live music, and we gave them 2 bands that that the family knows. You know what I mean? And 2 good bands that the family knows, and they were like, "Yep, we're in." You know what I mean? And it turned out to be a great night. It was a lot of love going on in there. There's a lot of crazy energy, man. That was good, crazy energy in that room. And that room has the studio. That room has its own energy for sure. When you walk through the door, that place has its own energy. But you get the right bands in there and the right people in there, and it just adds to it, man. And I'm glad that you guys agreed to play that show. I'm glad you had such a good time, and I'm glad that that brought back some normalcy to the band. Even you know what I mean? Of just this is. All this downtime didn't change a damn thing. This is still what we want to do. We're still right here. This is where we want to be. Because there again, there's a lot of bands that have folded in this last year and a half too. That because of COVID restrictions, because of this or that. They're just like, all right, we're done. You know what I mean? And that's sad in itself. So, you've got venues closing left and right pre-COVID, hit COVID, they go worse. And now on top of that, you have a lot of the local bands that are gone. They don't do it anymore. It's like not far from Toxic Studios here. We're in Jersey, but the whole Delaware market. I was talking to a gentleman the other day, and he said, I said, why is the Delaware market does so many tribute bands? It's like every bar is just tribute bands. And the guy told me straight up, he said, there's no fan base here. There's no fan base to support original music in Delaware. And I'm like, that's just sad. You know what I mean? To me, that's just sad, especially Delaware being sandwiched in between the whole New York, Maryland. How does it not have a scene? You know what I mean? It's like, that doesn't make sense to me. But when you look at it, there aren't many places for them to play, and the places that are out there are putting asses in the seats by putting tribute bands in. I mean, that's, again, I understand it. I get it from a business standpoint. I don't like it, but I get it. You know what I mean? And this gentleman that I was talking to, really great guy. He's got a venue in Delaware. It's called Halftime, and I'm sure you know it, Chris, or have heard of it. Yeah, I was talking to him. His name's Mark. Great guy. I was talking to him a couple days ago and just picking his brain about the local scene in his area and stuff like that. And talked to him and thought to myself, this is a guy, like, he gets it. He'll have original nights. I mean, he'll do that. But he's a guy that gets that, number one, it's a business. He's got to make money. But he also gets that he's a musician. So he gets and understands that there has to be places for these bands to play. So he's one of the few guys in the Delaware area, through Halftime, that gives the musicians a place to play. But he told me flat out, he goes, there's just nobody to really support a local scene here. It's just, for whatever reason, that the clientele in that area mainly likes to see the cover bands. You know what I mean? Now, he said the metalcore community is huge. He's like, that little subgenre, those people are all supportive of each other. He said, but everybody else, it's just kind of, it's touch or go. It's hit or miss. And I'm just, I'm blown away by that. Again, I'm blown away by that. But we're coming up on our time here, Chris. Man, brother, I love you. I love you to death, and I love what you guys are doing with the new sound. And I just continue to touch us the way you do, bro, because it does resonate. What you guys are doing resonates a lot, and not just with the family. When I've introduced people, because people listen to you, like Mike says sometimes, his neighbors, when I'm on the job site, people listen to you whether they want to or not. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. But keep doing what you're doing, bro. And my love to the guys, and my love to Margie, of course. And I look forward to seeing you as soon as we can. And just keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Absolutely, man. That's so good. So good to be on here. It's so good to talk to you again. Love you guys. And yeah, that J month is coming up really quick. So.
Yeah. Hear that, Mike? Month. Hear that, Mike? The J month is coming.
The J month.
More opportunity.
I'm going to show up to Baltimore both J months just to make sure I don't miss it.
I like that. You can come stay with us. You can come stay with us out on the ranch, man.
I'm in. I may never leave there.
Well, that'd be fine. I don't care. Wendy and Carrie might have a problem with it.
Wendy might be like, get the fuck out.
No, we're all going to put together a big commune anyway that we're all going to live on eventually, so it'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Remember when we talked about that? We talked about a retirement home, and we'd all retire and get this little place, and we, and just all be together.
It could still happen. It could still happen.
Yeah. Chris would be the house band.
Chris would be the house band. There you go.
Yeah.
You're damn right. Babylon Shakes, the house band.
Front and center every night.
Got my reading glasses and my Metamucil, so I'm ready.
Nice. And we'll still come see you.
Damn right.
We'll still come see you, bro.
Heck yeah, man.
All right, brother. Thank you again for joining us today, man. And I love you to death, and look forward to seeing you real soon, bro.
Got it. Thanks, you guys. Love you.
Love you too.
Thank you, Chris. See you soon.
Thank you.
Well, Mike, we made it through another show.
We did,
and thanks to you, I guess you kept me under wraps, so I didn't call too many people out and tell them all to go fuck themselves. But there's time for that. There's many shows to come in the future. We'll just unleash a little bit of me today. We'll give them little pieces at a time so that they're not overwhelmed and want to leave us.
Right. They don't want to leave us.
Nope.
They're
So
too interested.
2 weeks. Have we figured out what we're doing yet? Because in 2 weeks, the 2-week mark, I'm going to be at a show in AC, and you're going to be doing this one by yourself, right?
Most likely, I'm going to get a hold of the two bands I got on. I do believe I have Kick and Valentina that will be on.
Yes, you do.
And at least Heber, that I know for sure. I got to reconnect with him, make sure. And then Mike Floros from Steel City
Nice.
will be on. So most likely we're going to have a show on the 15th. I'm pretty definite about that. And then the following week is a free show, right?
Free for free?
Free show put on by Bradley Entertainment. Who else would give you a kick-ass show? That Kick and Valentina's playing. Steel City's playing. The Native Sons are going to show up.
Yep.
3 other bands. I mean, Stairway to Halen is going to be there. Wild America is going to be there.
Yep. Look at
and
you.
Asphalt Valentine is going to be there.
That's a band I'm looking forward to seeing, dude. That's a band I'm seriously looking forward to seeing. And
dude, all these bands are just kick ass. I'm thrilled to be going to that one.
yeah, it's gonna be good. Well, they're all good. They're all good.
Yeah.
So
May 23rd, Cancun Cantina. Everybody better be in that venue.
Well, you heard it from the man. We had 150, 170 in there, and he wants it packed. So we're gonna have to
packed.
We're gonna have to do our part to mention the free thing like a million more times.
Right. May 23rd.
May 23rd. Free.
I'll post a flyer everywhere. I want everybody to share it, get the word out, pack the place. The more we pack it, the more shows we get.
There you go. That's the way we do it.
Yep.
All right, folks.
That's the way we do it.
We're gonna end it on that note. Coming up next, you got Super Dave with the Bleeding Edge. Your best in crazy.
Woo!
Your best in crazy, abnormal prog metal and rock. And I say abnormal in a good way, so when Dave comes in here, he doesn't punch me in the face.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks again to everybody for listening, man. As always, Toxic Radio is where it's at. If you guys are having any interest out there that you feel like you want to do a podcast, please reach out to Toxic Radio. Mike Francolino is the man with the plan. They do a great job around here, man. They have guided Mike and I through this effortlessly, and I'm telling you, it's not. I would plug it if I was on another radio station just because that other station would probably suck. So I'm always going to plug Toxic. So again, anybody that's got any interest in radio, man, and you feel like you want to do something, there's always room for you here at Toxic. They don't judge and they don't care. If you want to do it, they're going to give you the platform to do it on. And once again, we can't thank you enough. Thanks, Mike, for working in the booth. And big man.
Thank you, Mike.
That's pretty cool. That's like I'm used to seeing fish back there, but it's not fish. It's not fish. Can we put a camera on him, Mike? Is there a camera in there? Turn it on real quick. If there's a camera in there. There you go. There's the man. Thanks again, guys. We really appreciate the hell out of everything that Toxic does for us. And we appreciate the listeners. And hopefully we got some people to tune in today. And Mike, I love you, bro. On the 15th, I will probably do a little call-in maybe in the middle of your show while I'm in AC. How's that?
Awesome.
All right, people. We love you, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Later.